This was supposed to be a fun family weekend in London, and it was, but when I sat down and added it all up for the first time ever, I wasn't sure whether to be happy or horrified. 2 adults, 1 kid, 3 days, and I tracked everything. And I'm sharing every number with you today, because I wish someone had done that for us before we went. Stick around because I'm breaking it all down, whether you're planning a trip or just trying to work out if London is even worth it for your family. We've been to London quite a few times, but this is the first time that we've ever actually tracked what we spent, and here's how I broke it down. First up, we've got travel. Now, we always go to London on the train. The thought of driving into London generally stresses me out. We usually book pretty far in advance to keep costs down, but this time we decided to splash out a little and go first class. From what I remember, it wasn't a huge difference from standard, but it felt like a nice way to start the trip, and that cost £223. We then spent £18 on a taxi from the station to the hotel, and over the 3 days we spent around about £53 on the underground. So the total for travel was £294. Next up is accommodation, and one of the biggest costs when staying anywhere in London is the hotel, and we actually stayed in 2 different hotels across the trip. The first night we were at Leonardo Royal London and St Paul's, which came to £330. The second night we moved to the Park Plaza at the Westminster Bridge at £270. So the total of the accommodation was £600. Both are central hotels with easy access to the main sites. Now, the reason we booked 2 different hotels, honestly, it's for the channel. I'm doing a proper comparison of both of them soon, so if that sounds useful for you, it's definitely worth subscribing. Now, attractions. First of all, we went to the London Eye, which cost us £147. We went for fast track tickets, and with limited time in the city, that was definitely the right call for us. I've done a full review of the London Eye, and I'll link that above and in the description. Honestly, if it's your first time, it's worth doing. If you've already been, I'd probably skip it. Shrek's Adventure came at £82, and we went for anytime tickets again rather than a set slot, which costs a little bit more, but we just didn't exactly know when we'd fit it in, so the flexibility felt worth it. I really thought that it was just a 4D ride, but there are live actors and little quests to solve along the way. Good fun, probably a once and done experience rather than something that you'd repeat, but it's worth it for the right age group. Now, Babylon Park was a bit of a hidden gem, and honestly one of the better discoveries of the trip. It's in Camden, an underground arcade and soft play space that works as a pay-as-you-go basis. We spent around about £30, but you can spend as much or as little as you want. Perfect for keeping kids occupied, especially on rainy days. And then the big one, we spent £413 to see Back to the Future at the Adelphi Theatre. We were debating that because of the cost. We very rarely do West End shows because of just how expensive they can be. It was a highlight of the trip for all of us. So the total for attractions was £672. Now we've got food. Breakfast was included at both hotels, and we mostly skipped lunch while we were out exploring, which did help keep costs down. First up, Lobos Tapas. We spent £87 here, and it was kind of a spur of the moment thing while we were at the Borough Market. Decent food, relaxed atmosphere. The following night we went to Sticky Mango and spent £158 on a Thai meal. On our final morning we had brunch at Farm Girl, which cost £67. Decent food, great coffee, a nice relaxed start to the last day, so the total for food was £379. Right, now normally I would put drinks and food together, but yeah, drinks needs a separate category. This is one that I debated actually including, to be fair. We spent £471 on drinks across the trip. Most evenings we'd head back to the hotel bar, get some cocktails in, and play card games as a family. At London cocktail prices, it really does add up fast. Looking back, it's probably on the high side. Quick question though, before I get to the total, I'm really curious, if you've been to London with your family, what's the one thing you'd wish you knew the cost of before you went? Drop it in the comments. So next we've got Souvenirs, because it's basically impossible to take kids to London without them wanting something to take home. We spent £73, which included a couple of bits from Back to the Future, Shrek's Adventure, and the Natural History Museum. So the total: transport £294, hotels £600, food £379, drinks £471, attractions £672, and finally souvenirs £73. The total £2,400 £389 for 2 adults, 1 child, 3 days in London. We knew exactly what we were paying for. There were no nasty surprises, no disappointing hotels, no moments where we felt that we'd wasted a day. And if this feels like it's too expensive, that's kind of the point of this video. Obviously skip a West End show, go for further out hotels, go for more budget style meals. Doing this and you're definitely going to have a much lower total. I've done a full review of one of the hotels that we've stayed out on a previous visit called Middle 8, and you can check that out here. If you want to see my full playlist on London, that includes hotel reviews, attraction breakdowns, what we'd do differently, mistakes, things like that, then check out this playlist.